please, because I can't hear everyone at the same time. Hold on. Okay. Someone asked me if you can use crayons. The only reason you can't for this project, you can, like if you just want to color it with crayons, that's fine, but you won't be able to use the markers on the foil or the crayons on the foil, because what we're going to do is color the foil with markers and then spray it with water. So it's like a different process. You won't be able to use crayons for that. Okay.
My mom doesn't have a spray bottle.
She doesn't have a spray bottle?
Yeah.
Well, you can just do the letters with me for now and then just do crayons. You can just work with what you have for right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put my foil on the side, my spray bottle on the side, and my first step is I'm gonna use my pencil in case I make a mistake when I'm writing my letters. And for these posters, I want these to symbolize you and stuff that is about you. So for example, the first one I did I love art, because obviously being the art teacher, art is my life. So I love everything that has to do with art. So for this first one, I want you guys to think about something that you really love. It could be maybe your family. It could be something you love to do. Maybe you're really into sports. Maybe you really love gaming. Maybe you love cooking. Maybe you just love eating too, because I know I love eating. So I'm gonna put I on the top, love in the middle, and for this one, I really love to draw. So I'm gonna put I love drawing. And make sure you're pressing not too hard, because sometimes this paper is unforgiving, and if you try to erase after you wrote too hard, it won't all come off. Okay, so that's my first one. On this one, I want this to be something that you are. So I'm gonna do I am. So something that you are. I'm gonna put I am silly, because I do love to be silly sometimes. I think that's a great word that describes me. So I am silly. Maybe you want to do I am kind, or I'm funny. I want you to try to stay away from words that describe your looks. So like I'm cute or I'm pretty. I want it more to be about your personality. So I'm silly. What was another good one that I heard? I'm sassy. I love that one. Okay, so I have both of mine, and they're pretty big. Okay, so this one, my I love drawing one, I kind of like the way it looks now. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger. Okay, so drawing is a really long word, so I'm going to leave it this way. For the I am silly, I kind of have a lot of room to make these into bubble letters. Now, if you don't know how to do bubble letters, or if it gets too hard, that's fine. You can just leave it like this. But if you want to see how I do my bubble letters, you can try to do it. I'm going to close my camera in a little bit so you can see it a bit better. Okay. So what I do, let me fix my camera. Okay, is I'm going to do kind of like a floating line that hovers over the whole letter. So I'm not erasing anything just yet. Watch how I do it first before you try to do it. It always helps to watch before you go on in and try it out. So for the I, I'm not getting super close to the stick part right here. I'm gonna go around it. Oh my goodness, my light just turned off. Oh, you can actually still see. Okay, cool. Okay, but see how I'm floating around it? It's almost kind of like a cloud that's just floating on top of the line. I'm going very slow. If you want to just watch me first and then try it out, because I know bubble letters tend to be very difficult. Sometimes they're a bit confusing to do. Okay, and you see how my eye is nice and big now, and you still have the eye inside of it. Don't worry about that just yet. We'll worry about that later. Okay, now for the A part. Let me actually erase these little sticks that are sticking out of the A on the side, because that's going to get in my way. Okay, so the same thing. I'm going to use a little line that hovers and floats around the outside of the A, floating around that middle part, floating around this stick part, and all the way around. Okay, I'm going to try to go very slow too, but we missed a spot. We missed a spot in the A because there's this area right here in the middle, kind of like the same with O's, and I think other letters that have that space. A capital R would have this space. You're going to do another hovering line, but this time it's going to be in the middle of that A. So it kind of looks like that. I'm going to go very slow again. So if you're falling behind, don't stress too much. We're going to go very slow. And now I'm going to do my M. The same thing. I'm hovering, I'm getting up to that corner of the M, coming back down to the tip, all the way to that corner of the M, and then back down. And then I'm going around the corner of the M at the tip, all the way up. Oh, this is actually very soothing and calming to do this slowly. And it's always good not to rush either. So we take our time and it looks more beautiful. Because if we tend to rush, it doesn't always come out as nice. And if you make a mistake, that's okay too. Mistakes are always fine. In art, you can always work around it. And thankfully, we're doing pencil. So if you need to erase. Okay. So now I'm going to go down to my S, my little snake-shaped guy, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just hovering around my S. Hovering around my S all the way around. Just want to make sure it gets nice. I know some of you are thinking, why is she going so slow? I want to go fast. But I want to make sure I don't make any mistakes. Okay. The S is looking nice. Now for the I is pretty easy because I just made him a stick. Just gonna draw kind of like a jelly bean or a long jelly bean shape around him. Kind of like that. And, oh, I did forget something about the eye. I'm going to do his little dot on the top, so just a circle. And we can leave a circle like that because it already looks like a bubble. The L, again, I'm going to start there and go all the way around, making like a floating cloud. Now, if you don't want to do the bubble letters, remember you don't have to. If it gets too hard, if you're with your siblings and you have a younger one that's struggling, you can go ahead and help them out. I'll pause after I'm done with this one. And if you really like the bubble letters and you want to try it on both of them, you can. I just want to leave my drawing one like this in case some of you didn't want to do bubble letters. I'll do both. Okay. Now my L, all the way down here, all the way around that to the corner of that L, to right here. So I've got both L's done. Now my Y is left. Again, I'm gonna start hovering over my whole Y. Get to that corner, go back down.
Okay.
Go to this corner, and go all the way around. Oh, this is looking good. I love this one. Yeah, I think the bubble letters look really cool. Okay, so I have finished my bubble letters. If you're not done, I don't want you to worry. I will pause in a second. I will stop doing something. I just want you to look at my next step for the bubble letters because we have one more thing to do. And that's with your eraser. You're actually going to erase the stick part of your letters. So remember, it's almost like what's a way to put it? Kind of like the skeleton of your bubble letters. So you see like the I love drawing is just in skeleton letters. And then when we did the I am silly, we did skeleton letters, but then we did the bubble on top. So I'm gonna go in and I want you to just watch me so you don't mess up or you get kind of confused. So I'm gonna use my eraser and erase the middle part of my I. So you see how I'm gonna start erasing it. So it's just the bubble letter. And I can still kind of see my I underneath because sometimes this copy paper isn't the best to draw at. So you'll still see a little bit of it, but it's fine because when we do the marker print, you won't be able to see those details. And then I'm going to do the same thing with all of my letters. Make sure for the A though, that you don't erase that little middle bubble, that little middle part of the A, just the stick part of the A. So I'm going to do that to all my letters. If you want to keep watching me do it, that's fine. Or if you want to start erasing, that's okay too. Oh, the bubble letters look cool. I really like the bubble letters. Also, make sure you're working somewhere where you have a lot of space, because especially for this one, it's going to be a lot of materials we're using. It's always nice to work somewhere comfortable. If you have like a nice little drawing space where you can just relax and do art. Okay. Okay, so my I am silly is done with bubble letters. I erased all of the skeleton part of it from the middle, but I kept the outside. I'm gonna leave both of these like this. I'm gonna give you guys less than a minute. Is it really 8:25 already? Oh no! Oh my goodness, is it really the end of class? That went by so fast. Okay, guys, it seems like I had way too much fun doing this, and we actually have to stop here for now, and we're gonna have to finish this next week, unfortunately. I am so sorry. I didn't realize how fast 25 minutes went by. I wish we had art class for like an hour. Let me just stop my camera so I can open up my big one. Hold on. My camera is freezing. Okay, so we didn't have time to finish this. I am so sorry. We're gonna have to do the last two steps next week. So have both of your papers drawn out at least with your words. And then next week, we're gonna have to use a foil and the markers in the spray bottle to do that last print. I'm so sorry, guys. I had no idea that 25 minutes can go by so fast. I wish it was longer, so much longer, but next week we'll have to get together, finish this project, and then start our other pop-up self-portraits that we're gonna do. Does anyone have any questions before I cut you guys off?